Welcome back to another basic character guide where we look at a character's general use, pros and cons, and skills we'd want on and off. Before we get started, I do want to just give a shout out to her TMR, but looking at her abilities, you can see she's one of these weird characters that kind of have like a self-sustaining AP setup, and she has that with True Shot and Adrenaline. Starting with Adrenaline, she's able to recover her own AP and raise the attack of her and her allies within range. And this is a skill that's generally used to make somebody move, cast a skill, and stay in place. And it's really good for keeping her behind her allies, but then again, this also depends on what map you're on. True Shot is a physical barrier breaker, which is going to be huge for her or whoever she's running with, as long as they're a physical damage dealer. And this is when she starts to be able to retain her own AP, because she's pretty much built for critical hits. Double Bullets Expert deals 2 hits, which can be really good for setting up chains while raising her own evasion. This is something that you may even prioritize over True Shot. But then you have to consider you're losing that AP gain and you have to rely maybe on bells again. I believe the AI will prioritize it just because of the damage that it'll do. So you may not even need to turn it off. And then Deadeye, which raises her missile attack resistance piercing rate, which pretty much if they have defense against missile attack, this pierces that. Really, she only has barrage and sharpshoot. Her other sub jobs aren't really worth looking at or using unless you want to use triple shot, which is kind of a situational thing as well, and you also have to think of what you're giving up. So some of the pros of Lara, she's definitely a high evasive character and she definitely does it well with her master ability, but in general I don't think you want her to get hit just because she doesn't have any other means of survivability, i.e. courage. So evasion is pretty much the only way she's staying alive, and possibly also one of those characters that rely on a tank. But one of the greater things that she does have is reflex. Reflex is completely busted. Whatever TMR build you're using on her is definitely going to have block reaction rate up. And really for cons, like I said, no courage, and she can be really squishy if she's not evading, and she's limited to missile attacks, which can be really bad, especially if she gets locked in a corner. She will be unable to attack anybody. So she's definitely somebody you want to keep in the back, but you don't want her back against the wall. I think she relies on a strong setup, maybe people who can buff her evasion, chain off of her missile attacks. Personally for me, I think she works best as somebody who just sets up either with her limit break or a chain of guaranteed hits. And with that, I don't really have anything else to say about her. She's a very unique character, very cool outside of the Final Fantasy universe. So it's really awesome to see things like that. But with that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I hope to see you in the next one. Have a nice day.